When it rains, Koreans naturally think of pajeon and makgeolli. As the jeon sizzles on the pan, filling the room with its savory aroma, people unwind at the end of the day. A crispy pajeon and a glass of cold makgeolli is enough to relieve the fatigue and stress of work and life. For Koreans, jeon is more than just comfort food on a rainy day. It's the perfect dish to spice up parties or holiday gatherings. Find out what jeon means to Koreans and discover a whole culture surrounding jeon. Jeon can be made with a variety of ingredients: green onions, chives, squash, mushrooms, squid, pollock, and meat, to be enjoyed as meals, party foods, or with drinks. Then what kind of food is jeon to Koreans?
In Korean cuisine, jeon can refer to a variety of dishes, all of them pan-fried, some of them more like fritters, other of them more like pancakes. Now, the main ingredients in jeon can be anywhere from vegetables, meat and fish, even beans and grains. Let's find out more about jeon and see exactly how long it's been a part of Korean cuisine.
To make jeon, ingredients are finely chopped and coated with glutinous rice powder or mixed into flour batter, then pan-fried in oil. Jeon goes by numerous names, including jeonyuhwa and buchimgae. The numerous names reflect the diverse ways in which jeon touches the lives of the Koreans. According to old texts, different kinds of jeon can be created by changing the ingredients. Foods like hwajeon, bindaedok, and jok all fall in the category.
You know, jeon is one of the most versatile methods of cooking here in Korea. You can make them using practically anything you have in your kitchen. Now, some of the most common types of jeon include green onion, buckwheat, and mung bean. Then, what are some of Korea's favorite types of jeon?
The various jeons made with seafood, meat, and vegetables take different shapes. Of the lot, pajeon is the most widely enjoyed jeon. Each family has a different way of making pajeon. In some homes, green onions are chopped and mixed into the batter before being fried. In others, the green onions are fried before being topped with the batter, oysters, and finally, beaten egg. Embedded in the history of jeon is the spirit of the Korean people. The most important ingredient in pajeon is soft, delicious green onions. Busan, home to fresh seafood and soft green onions cultivated in cool ocean winds, is famous for a particular pajeon known as dongnae pajeon. When it is almost cooked, a beaten egg goes on top. The dongnae hannae pajeonjip has specialized in dongnae pajeon for 4 generations. With 70 years of history, the dongnae pajeon served here is a favorite among locals, tourists, and foreigners.
Dongnae pajeon was served to important people in the past, when it was difficult for most people to have quality foods. It was considered a luxury because it was filled with grains and seafood. It became a local delicacy and is said to have been served to the king.
Busan, Korea's #1 port city, has always been famous for its food, but its dongnae pajeon is the most well-known traditional delicacy. It was a festive food served after Korea defeated the Japanese who invaded Dongnae Fortress. In 1700, it became a food served to the king, and around 1800, it became commercialized as a nutritious snack and a side dish for drinks. It spread to all regions across Korea and was adapted into seafood pajeon and various vegetable jeons made with chives or squash instead of green onions.
You know, jeon isn't an easy dish to make. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of hands go into this dish. And that's because each individual piece needs to be dredged in flour, bathed in egg wash, and then fried individually. This is why individual restaurants and entire alleyways such as this one are dedicated to making jeon and selling them to customers.
Before the Lunar New Year's Day, the alley bustles with people waiting to buy food for ancestral rites. One by one, they leave with a bag of jun, and the alley quiets down. The sun sets over Seoul, and the alley fills up once again, this time with people heading out from the office. In small and large groups, they share the events of the day over drinks and junk. This is how time flies in the Jun Alley. Bindae-deok is a party food and is not usually cooked at home. It's made with ground mung beans. It was first introduced as binjae-bop in a cookbook for noble families, published in the 1670s. The original version looked very different from what it looks like today. Today, bindae-deok is a large jun made with mung bean batter mixed with pork, kimchi, and vegetables. It is dipped in soy sauce seasoning.
Bindae-deok was a luxurious food enjoyed in cold regions like Pyeongangdo and Hamgyongdo of the Joseon dynasty. But a cookbook published in 1924 called Bindae-deok Binjapyeong, using Chinese characters meaning food for the poor. That's what started the misunderstanding that bindae-deok is a poor man's dish.
In the 1940s, the song Bindae-deok Gentleman established bindae-deok as a food for the masses. It was also an icon of Seoul, where there was a high density of bindae-deok stores. Pimatgol in Jongno-gu, Seoul, was once a special place for Seoul's laborers. It was here that they found solace in bindae-deok and a glass of makgeolli. But under urban redevelopment plans, Pimatgol was transferred to a museum. Still, bindae-deok stores can be found in nearly every alleyway in Seoul.
It's a real shame that we can only explore the famous pimakgol in a museum such as this. And unlike bindae-deok, which is a mung bean pancake, Maemiljeon is made from maemil or buckwheat. And this is why it's popular in such provinces as Gangwon, which is a big producer of buckwheat.
Pyeongchang and Jongseon in Gangwon Province, which are major producers of buckwheat thanks to their low temperatures and mountains, are known for Maemiljeon. Maemiljeon is made by mixing chives, squash, radishes, and other vegetables into a watery buckwheat batter and pan-frying it into jeon. This is a restaurant in Paju that specializes in buckwheat dishes. It's famous for its aromatic, savory maemiljeon.
Maemiljeon goes very well with seasonal ingredients like chives in spring. It tastes much better when it is thin than when it is thick, and is best enjoyed in spring. That's when you can fully feel the aroma of the ingredients.
Jangdeok is characterized by the doenjang or gochujang batter. It can be enjoyed as a side dish or a snack, and makes a perfect menu to serve to guests in summer. Every region has its own recipe for jangdeok, but the rich, salty jeon made with fresh vegetables like zucchini, green onions, and chili peppers is always good for boosting appetite in hot summer.
In Korean, chang refers to those fermented soybean products that give Korean cuisine its unique, deep flavor. This refers to doenjang, which is the fermented soybean paste, and gochujang, which has the Korean red pepper added to it. Now, each household makes its own chang, so as a result, every jangdeok tastes different. This results in a product that has a deep, Moorish flavor that differs from household to household. What kinds of jeon do Koreans enjoy today?
Donggurangtaeng, a regular menu on holidays, is primarily made with pork. Ground pork is mixed with tofu, then with vegetables like onions and chili peppers before being coated with flour and beaten egg and pan-fried in bite sizes. Donggurangtaeng is a popular choice for ancestral rites, side dishes, and packed lunch. In addition to donggurangtaeng, Koreans also enjoy jeons made with zucchini, chives, and tofu at home. The process of making jeon, preserved for 2,000 years, reveals the culinary history of Korea. In Doodle Village, Yeongyang-gun, North Gyeongsang Province, we met Jo Gui-bun, the 13th Jongbu of the Jaeryong Lee clan. Jo Gui-bun follows the traditional methods written in a cookbook from the mid-17th century. We asked her to make some jeon for us. Gajeyuk is a jok written in the cookbook. Jo Gui-bun marinades sliced pork in soy sauce and sesame oil, then coats it with glutinous rice powder before frying it. The ojeonbap is another dish mentioned in the same book. It's similar to the myeongtae we eat today, but prepared in the same way as gajeyuk.
These days, people often cook jeon ingredients with beaten egg before frying them. In the past, the ingredients were marinated in sesame oil and soy sauce instead. This method preserves the ingredients' original flavor.
Do Gui Bun pounds the dorok to soften its texture. The whole kitchen is enveloped in the aroma of dorok. The roots are dried, coated with glutinous rice powder and deep fried. This is sopsanjok. Next, she chops lotus root and soaks the pieces in water to make yeongunjok. Then, she makes hwajeon with azalea and chrysanthemum. Her dishes bloom with color. A table is set with foods whose recipes date back 400 years. It's like a work of art. A family in Seoul is busy getting ready for Lunar New Year's Day. The house is filled with the aroma and sound of sizzling jeon. The children skewer ingredients for jok, and their parents fry myeongtae-jeon, donggurangtaeng, and zucchini jeon. The food will be offered at ancestral rites, which pray for good fortune in the new year. The traditional jok has evolved over the years to myeongtae-jeon, 5-colored jok, and beef toksan-jok. Today, rather than eat jeon at home, Koreans prefer to meet with friends and family at jeon restaurants.
Koreans don't often make jeon at home, but when they do, you know that's going to be a big deal, that it's a special occasion. But it's also perfect for a night out, socializing with friends, nibbling on with a couple of drinks. But no matter the occasion, when you hear the sound of that jeon sizzling and you smell that beautiful aroma, you know that something delicious is about to come.
Jeon is a delicious fried food made with various ingredients, from vegetables to meat and seafood. It's coated with rice powder or flour and beaten egg to get that crispy texture. For Koreans, jeon is a food of sincerity, offered at ancestral rites, and a food of joy shared on happy occasions. On a rainy day, there is nothing like enjoying makgeolli and pajeon or bindedok with a friend to lift the spirits. To Koreans, jeon is a festive food with a tantalizing sound and taste, and a healing food shared over a long chat with friends.